Everyone, this is Nadia. I am an occult specialist that uses spiritual intelligence to empower entrepreneurs into a healthy, empowered life story to live a balanced life. Today, I want to cover how to be neutral to manipulation. So, this is a topic that we see in society so often. We see in the workplace for everybody that has a career or a job. We see very much in business. We see it in dating. We see it in marriages. We see it everywhere because we live in a world that is based on manipulation. We live in a world that is, well, it's not really outright lying if you're just like sprinkling some like seasoning on it. I've just realized how cold it is, but I still want to keep doing this video. Manipulation really comes from a place of somebody sometimes being intentional with the manipulation, sometimes being unintentional with the manipulation. So unintentional can be somebody who has lost their way in life. They've taken a hit. They don't know how to stand up again. They don't believe they can stand up again. I think standing up from anything that has happened in your life is a belief that you can do it. So most people, they go into resentment when something bad happens, which is a normal human emotion, as we know, right? But they can be like, why did this happen to me, or blah blah, and it's normal to think that way. It's victim mentality, but it's normal because I've experienced it, so I know it with experience, and I know what it's really like to be stuck in that place. Unintentional manipulation is, it's really not knowing the next step ahead, so you just become a burden and a drain to everybody around you, and you stop taking your own guidance, and you just rely on everybody, and your energy just can't function without other people, which is now how somebody becomes an energy vampire, or, unintentionally, they don't know what they're doing. Intentional is really what I want to cover in this video. So, people who come from abusive families, people who come from narcissistic families, people who come from sociopathic families, psychopathic families, which is, I would say, the large majority of this planet, if you really study the dynamics of people, they learn to manipulate, guilt trip, gaslight, and I'm going to go through all of these for people who are maybe new to these terms, but for the most part, people who watch my channel will be very aware of them. And they will try and triangulate to people. So I have experienced this with family members, sadly. I have experienced this with exes in my past, unfortunately, when I didn't know that they were not good and healthy individuals. I have experienced this with people who I considered friends. So I had to experience a lot of it because my own boundaries were weak at the time. So I am not a fan. Over the years, I am not a fan. There is a saying in one of the languages I speak. I don't know how to translate in English, but it just says like when the third party enters, or when it's a third wheel, everything just goes to hell. Generally, I try and keep good relations with people. Traditionally, when a third party enters anywhere, it always becomes messy and dirty and ugly, and I always try and keep it neutral. Sometimes it's a blessing because the situation just ends and you're done. Sometimes it reveals things about people that you didn't normally care to imagine or see. But manipulation, you already have to understand somebody's character. You have to watch their behaviors, you have to watch their actions. And to me, manipulation is often not overt, it's very subtle. So it's like someone promising to change. This manipulation can be as simple as, I'll call you at 7 p.m. tonight and you didn't call. It's manipulation when there's no apology, there's no nothing, as opposed to, oh my god, I completely forgot about it, I'm so sorry, it's 8:30 now, are you free? There is a difference, and you need to learn people's energy. When you are low on self-love, self-esteem, and self-confidence, and I'll try and break these down for people watching them. Self-confidence is the ability to stand up and pursue life. In any area of your life, to pursue life, basically. Self-esteem is how much you believe you deserve something, basically. It's like this old saying, people date and marry at their self-esteem. So if somebody calls you names and says things, it only hurts because that's really what you think of yourself inside. For instance, when I was younger, lots of people were like, oh, you're weird, there's something wrong with you. Because I wasn't like everybody else, I was different. But what annoyed people even worse was that I didn't take it as an insult. I was actually very happy to be called weird. I'm an Aquarius woman. There's something wrong if we're not weird. Just a tad weird. Just a tad weird. And self-love is really almost like a balloon inside you. I just want you guys to think of a balloon. You blow it up, the balloon is big, and then you swallow the balloon and it's right inside you. So it's in your heart area, right down to where like maybe your stomach, your actual stomach, not your belly, but your stomach is. And it fills you up basically. And this feeling, I can do it. That's confidence. How people would describe it is, oh, confidence building, but no, it's actually much deeper. It's very hard to manipulate somebody who has an excess bank of self-love, which is why predatory individuals get into your life when you're already low. They can already see the holes. You can't see the holes, but they can see the holes. Over time, I realized so many people just couldn't get into my life, or if they got into my life somehow, they'd just filter the fuck off themselves, because there is this energy of, and I think about everything is vibration, it's energy, and it really is, because when you fill that bank up, people can't manipulate you, they can't guilt trip you, they can't be like, no, but I said that, but I did this, but that's what you're going to be dealing with, a pathological individual. So when people behave this way, they're manipulative. They'll use all types of things to secure you. So security is a very good thing, because security goes deeper than confidence. Security is something that somebody can be outwardly and outwardly. I don't know why the spirits wanted me to say both words. So outwardly confident as well, meaning that obviously you deal with the the other world, and they are also outwardly confident. I remember going to this guy's event a couple of years ago, and there was another attendee who had come there, and he said, oh my god, don't you think he's amazing? Like, I think he almost looked up to him, like, oh, you know, look at him, he's so rich and he's done so well for himself, and not envy as much as, I remember speaking to the guy, and he said, you know, my dad passed away when I was 10, and we had a long conversation, and he said, oh, he's so confident. I said, no, he's not. No, he's not. He doesn't even have the illusion of having his life together. But then again, I'm an individual that deals with people's very innermost states on a daily basis. No, he's not. He's barely holding himself together, if that. He's got very low self-esteem inside, and that's very obvious with his conversations. And the guy was like, whoa, yeah, because it's very easy to trick people in today's world. If you look put together, you're confident. If you look a bit disabled, you're not. People are very easily tricked, unfortunately. And manipulation, people who are looking to manipulate or use you for something, they're always trying to assess how you feel about yourself on a day-to-day basis. Is this person feeling strong and confident about themselves? Is this person feeling weak? What's their support system? Can they support themselves? Do they have a support system around them? There's a lot of things that people look at. And it's very easy. When they think in their head they've marked you as vulnerable, my God. So where does this really come from? Manipulation is very easy, because you're almost twisting the truth to suit a narrative of yours. There are some people I have dealt with, and you just let people talk, because you just know that, yeah, whatever, man. You just know where it's going. You're like, okay, that's fine. It's like people that go on Instagram live and start crying. I just don't get people like that. That's manipulation. That you're looking for attention from people. Why? Because real agony, real tears, real grief is never in front of people. You always have to sit alone and process those emotions, or at best maybe one person who you really feel you can trust to break down in front of. And that's very difficult in today's world, because the moment somebody sees you that level of broken down, there's a big sense of vulnerability, whereby if somebody's pathological, they'll use it against you. That's just the code. So manipulation is literally, for me, somebody that's saying one thing, they do another. Manipulative from a client from me would be, I'll do this, but then, a year has gone and we don't see anything because you're not pulling your weight. Because there are a lot of people that like coming to me and think that I'm going to wave a magic wand like Harry Potter and everything's going to be fixed. That's not how I work. My version is strip you naked, throw you in a cold shower, shove your face in a bath of dog shit, clean you up, and then talk. So that's frightening already for most people. I'm a disqualifier. The type of luxury that Spartanite has is a type of disqualifier because we know that people don't want to do the work. They're lazy. They're expecting somebody else to carry them. They're expecting somebody else to fix their miserable life. You've lived a life doing 20 years the same thing, 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, whatever, a considerable amount of time. But you're expecting different results with the same stupid methods that you're using. It doesn't make sense. Manipulation is common in corporate workplaces. Why? Because it's narcissistic, it's sociopathic and ruthless. You just know how to make yourself the victim, make people feel sorry for you. I have dealt with all different types of people. Women are experts at this. Women don't need any coaching or training or course. Women, they come innately with this. This is why so many men are very upset and they're like, well, a nature of a woman is manipulative. Yes, to a large degree it is, because if you have to go head to head with a man and you can't physically altercate him, then there has to be another way of dealing with him, right? I'm not saying this is right. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying this is nature. You can't change nature, unfortunately. Men's manipulation is often testing women's boundaries, and women don't have strong boundaries because we are told to be needy and desperate for a man. And if you're not needy and desperate for a man, there's something wrong with you, because why are you not needy and desperate for a man? Why are you happy single? There's something wrong. It's always a manipulation. Manipulation can be gaslighting as well, where it's like, oh no, that didn't happen. Okay. Well, you know it happened, but okay. And over a period of time, if somebody keeps doing that to you and you don't realize that they're nuts and they're lunatic and they want you to question your sanity, because my God, it's very easy to control somebody when they get to question their sanity. People will triangulate you, just what I've said about like third-party situations whereby he said, she said, and you just know it's all garbage, you know it's lies. I'm going to conclude this video and really speak about manipulation ruining people's lives because they're weak-minded. So it comes, again, as little surprises I often say in my videos, that most people are very weak-minded. They don't know they're weak-minded, and that's why they're sheep and they follow the crowd. That's basically it. They look, the first thing people do is, I can't do this alone. Yeah, because you're not comfortable with yourself. Yeah, there's some things, obviously, that are group activities or that you obviously need a plus one, or you need to do that with people. That's normal. But for the most part, society generally perceives you as a loser, as an idiot, as a loner. There's something wrong with you if you do things by yourself. I remember going to this nice hotel and I was just sitting and eating lunch, and this waiter came up and said, oh, what's wrong? Did your date stand you up? No, sir, I'm having lunch. I don't need a date to have lunch. And it's the insecurity, like, how can a woman just be happy sitting here by herself? And he said, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a husband? He was so concerned about me. I said, sir, I'm fine. Thank you for the concern, but I'm trying to enjoy my lunch. I just finished some shopping. Is it a crime if I came in and I'm even having lunch by myself? Because for women, we are told if you're even sitting somewhere by yourself, you may be in a relationship, you may be married, you might just be sitting somewhere by yourself. Oh my God, poor her. She can't find anybody. And that's why women cling to abusive, nasty men. And also men do that too, because it's very easy to manipulate somebody. What they do is manipulate your emotions. People who are pathological want complete control over your emotions. It's like a light switch for them. It's like, oh, this is fun. I'm going to play God with this person. So manipulation is something that you always not so much need to be on the lookout for, because that makes you paranoid. Because people are going to be like, you're just paranoid, you're nuts. And then it impacts your social life. So my suggestions with manipulation is very much around do the inner work. Do the inner work that people, when they look at you, they're just like, oh, this is too much work, man. Just, no, we're going to go for low-hanging fruit. People who are predatory and pathological are not looking for people who are confident and secure in themselves. That's the worst nightmare, because they can't pull on any string, basically. So they'll work, if they really want to tear you down, they'll work very hard to like find a chink in the armor. That's why working with that self-love is very important. Self-love is the key. Most people really, really hate themselves. I remember saying this to somebody and she's like, I checked with somebody, I don't hate myself. What, ma'am? Why did you have to check with somebody? People hate the truth. People really, really detest you telling something about them, because people are not into self-awareness or looking at themselves. So then they feel freaked out and then they like back away themselves from you, because it's like, she sees me too much for what I am. I can't see myself that much. Why is she seeing this? Because, sir or ma'am, that's my job to be doing that with clients. And I don't really bother with people who say anything anymore. They want to be wrong, let them be wrong. But manipulation, you always need to make sure that you are doing the internal work and filling your own cup. Literally, have a cup, fill it up. The cup goes a bit dry, fill it up again. Don't wait for anybody to fill up your cup. You are the only person that can fill up your cup. Do something that you love inside, and make sure that cup is always at 3/4, and it's like a tank in your car. It should not hit below a certain level. And when your self-love balloon is enough inside, manipulators are just gonna just walk away from you. Okay? For one-to-one consultations, ritual work, and elite mentoring, I'd love to hear from you soon. Take care. Bye.